can take this tomorrow, but not today. Come on. Quit. Do you hear me? I quit.
Jen?
What?
Is everything okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just fine. Ow.
Is it getting to you?
Say that.
Don't worry, you're not alone.
Oh, it's not just the copier in me?
It might look like just you two, but actually I think the cartridge has been put out of its misery.
I did, didn't I? I really did. I killed it. I'm a cartridge killer.
The cartridge can be fixed.
Oh, Lisa, I didn't see you there.
The copier will rise again. It's you I'm worried about.
Oh, I was just running late for a meeting, and then the copier just went
And you killed the cartridge?
like that. Yes, I'm sorry.
For what? I'm not related to the cartridge.
Well, the expense.
I can get a new cartridge. A new you I'm a little worried about.
Oh, I'm not.
Times are tough for everyone here at IDC West, as you may have heard me say before.
I know you probably wish that your copier drama hadn't happened while your boss's boss was around the corner, but thank you for your candor. Jen, can you do me a favor?
Anything, Lisa.
Take the rest of the afternoon off.
Oh, that's not necessary. Actually, that meeting...
Do you have any clients?
Well, no, but...
Well then go home, get some rest.
But Jake...
Values you as much as I do.
Well, I'm not. You're not...
I know you're a very valuable asset to this company, so I need you to be able to work at your full capacity. So go home. You're not going to be here until noon tomorrow, starting in 10 minutes.
But...
I do what the boss said.
Go!
Thank you, Lisa.
Anytime.
You know, I've been feeling quite a disproportionate level of rage about my electric stapler.
Yeah, you're pushing it, Hayes.
I know, boss, I know.
Hey, Lisa, I just got your message about Jen. Is she okay?
Well, if she does something fun for the next few hours, she may be able to take some edge off. I expect her to be somewhat refreshed when she comes back in tomorrow, but I expect that she'll want to work double the pace to make up for the time off. And do what you can to help manage her workload.
Oh, you're really scaring me now. Is she okay?
She's a grown adult and a highly competent employee.
Well, I know that, but it doesn't answer my question.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm worried about Jen.
Well, you haven't looked fine. In fact, your entire team has been looking significantly less than fine for the past 3 or 4 weeks. What is going on?
It's nothing. Should I send flowers or something? I don't...
Jake, she's burnt out, not sick. Take some of the pressure off and I imagine she's good to go.
Well, she's one of my strongest performers. I mean, they're all strong, but...
Jake, relax. Okay, that's better.
We're just excited about the new accounts. It's such good work, and Jen's been one of the most enthusiastic.
And she probably still is. Jake, this is an unsurmountable problem. You're growing. That's great. Now we just need to make sure that we have the infrastructure to support that growth. To that end, I've asked Esther to join us.
Esther. From HR? Esther who fires people, Esther.
Esther from Human Resources, who is a trained professional and who will help you create a sustainable talent management group for IDC West.
We don't need a talent management program. We need help doing the work. We need... Well, I don't know what we need, but we don't need Esther creating some new convoluted processes to make our workload even more difficult.
I see Jen isn't the only one dealing with some unhealthy stressors.
Sorry.
She isn't here to fire anyone or make your life harder. She'll be here as a consultant to help you get the support you need to take care of your most critical assets. Mark, Darshana, Ao, Alto, Mario, Zoe, and Jen.
Well, something's gotta give.
And I'd rather it not be you and your team. Look, I should have seen this one coming. I brought Esther in sooner. I didn't know we were all going to have to suffer the consequences, including our copier.
Well, what happens next?
Esther will spend some one-on-one time with each of your team members to see what's up.
Then what?
Then, based on the conclusions you and Esther draw from the one-on-ones, we'll get you and your team the support you need to continue the growth.
Including headcount?
Including headcount.
Well, that's all we need, really, is more bodies to share the workload.
And Esther will help with that.
Can't we just call down to that contracting firm we always go to?
In the short term, yes, but in the long term, we need to be more thoughtful about what kind of work we source out and who we do that work with.
And Esther is going to help with that.
It's what she does best.
Well, let's give it a try.
I think you'll be pleased with the results.
Are you Jake?
Yeah.
Ah, hi Jake. Your reputation precedes you.
So does yours, Esther.
I hope that's a good thing.
Well,
Most people only think of me when they need to hire or fire people. The truth is, I do more than that.
like what?
Well, I tap dance for one. In all earnestness, I'm here to help support your team by providing the analysts and infrastructure.
Meaning paperwork.
Well, some of that, yes, but mostly on my end. Anyway, I'll help you put the elements in place to help you hire, develop, and maintain great employees like the ones you have today. Isn't that worth a little paperwork?
Well, if you can help me get my team to succeed, then yeah. What happens next?
Well, I'm going to sit down with each of your teammates, including what the core issues are that are affecting the team.
I can already tell you that. It's a work overload.
Oh, you're probably right. However, I might find some other things needed to support your staff.
Such as...
Such as ongoing development needs and general compensation questions.
So, you're not here to fire anyone.
I'm here for the same reason you are, to help create an environment that supports your team to be the highest performers they can possibly be. It means that either reorganizing or perhaps terminating someone who isn't a good fit, we'll discuss that and come to a decision together. I'm not here as the terminator. I'm here to support. Sound fair?
Actually, it does.
Jake, is now still a good time?
Yeah. I just got done reading your report, actually. All I can say is, wow.
Wow, what?
Well, I had no idea you guys did so much other stuff.
Define stuff.
Well, stuff other than hiring and, firing people. I wish I would have heard of you from the beginning.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Jake. From now on, I hope that you will see me as an ally and come to me with your human capital needs.
Human capital?
We employees at IDCs are IDC's greatest resource.
Well, it's the same here in IDC West.
Glad to hear it. Shall we discuss the next steps?
Well, this is the part that involves paperwork, right?
Well, there is paperwork involved, but I'm here to help. You mentioned hiring and firing, as I like to say, letting people go. Jake, you did a fantastic job of getting the right people on your team. You have a real eye for talent.
Oh, shucks.
But getting the right people in the room is not the only ingredient to success. Before you get them there, you need to have a plan for how to use each one of them individually so that you can contribute to the collective whole. They need clear definitions of their responsibilities, and you need to make sure that their skills match those responsibilities.
Well, I know they have the right skills.
You're just a little fuzzy on the responsibilities part.
Am I that obvious?
No, Jake. I'm just good at that. Actually, a sense of confusion over job responsibilities was a major theme in the interviews I did. This is where the paperwork comes in. We need to get a clear depiction of how you envision everyone's job's responsibilities, as well as the specific skills needed to do those jobs.
But you just told me that I hired right.
Well, you did. Just think how much easier it would have been if you had a fully fleshed out description of the position's needs before you started.
Well, I hear you. So, are there forms or something?
Well, this can look a couple of different ways. We can have you fill out forms, or we can have me do some interviews and observations and create a rough draft for you to review.
Number 2. I definitely vote for number 2.
Happy to help out.
But that doesn't solve the immediate problem, though.
It doesn't. To that end, I recommend hiring one additional headcount to report up through Jen.
Just one? Well, we need more than one.
Oh, you may be right.
I know I am.
Enough to stake someone's job in it?
What?
Let me paint you a picture. IDC West is new. You are inundated with business now. I know. We want this trend to continue, of course, but what if the market level's off and business slows, or what if you find advances in automation that allow you to do the testing more efficiently? Either way, you are now stuck with more staff than you have work. What do you do then?
I see your point.
So, one more full-time person now while we figure out the work cycle. However, as soon as we understand what the workload is and the skills needed to do that, we can hire both a full-time position as well as some contractors. The contractors will ensure you aren't risking anyone's permanent job.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. All right, Jake, let's discuss next steps.
What can I do for you?
Well, I thought we should discuss the junior architect position. I see you like to move fast. I like that. I also fear that.
Fear that? Why? I'm just trying to solve what's become like a crisis situation.
Well, I feel your pain. I honestly do. I can also predict the pain you would feel in the following scenarios. A, you hire the wrong person because you don't know the skills they need or the job they're doing. And B, you hire the right person, but do it in a way that gets you sued.
Sued? Well, you have my full and undivided attention.
Excellent. Jake, if you don't go through the proper channels of looking for candidates, you can leave yourself and frankly us vulnerable to being accused of unfair hiring process.
So, cancel my lunch meeting then.
Have all the lunch meetings you want. Pulling in candidates who have strong recommendation from existing employees is a great way to staff up the position. However, don't offer the job until you've interviewed other candidates who might have been more effective, more qualified, and better suited. Think of the lunch as a loose, casual interview. You can encourage a person to apply for the job. However, when you interview them officially, you will probably want to have a little more structure to the questions you're asking.
What do you mean by structured? I'm kind of the go with the flow kind of interviewer.
Well, you have great instincts. Now imagine combining those with a series of questions you can repeat across multiple candidates. You still use your gut, but you just have better data to work with.
Okay.
So what's going on?
I don't know how to begin.
Well, you already have. Go to your lunch, use your fantastic instincts to see what you think. In the meantime, I'll work with Jen to draft a description of the position as well as the list of qualifications needed in order to advertise the position.
Well, where are you going to advertise?
We'll post at the main campus first, then we'll hit our normal media and recruiting outlets.
Well, great.
I will also use the opportunity to get started on researching the other jobs and responsibilities. Finally, we should work on a recommendation to go out to the team outlining your next steps. I'll put together a report of what I found and give you the review. Then how about a meeting where we can go over the results? I'll think you see that the tension levels will go down considerably once they know that the help is on the way.
And you'll do all of that? I'll just approve things?
I will do that. You just give your thought leadership when needed.
Why is it that you don't wear a cape, Esther?
It's a
Hello, this is Alto. If you're looking for Mario, you got him.
Darshana here, who's this?
Hi, this is Kyle. I'm an executive recruitment specialist working on behalf of Eastern Company. How are you doing today?
Oh, just fine and dandy. Well, I'm hanging in there.
What do you want?
Right to the point. I appreciate that. Well, the reason for my call today is that we over at Eastern Company have been paying attention to the work you've been doing for IDC West. And I gotta say that from what we've seen, we're impressed.
You don't say. That is flattering.
Really?
Really, tell me, Alto, Mario, Darshana, do you have a few minutes to discuss where you see your career heading?
Oh, I suppose I could spare a minute or two. Sure, why not?
Okay, fine.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
You know, I'd really love to get back to the West Coast with the big developers. The kinds of projects out there aren't just cutting edge, they're beyond the edge. I miss that kind of creative freedom, you know? I also miss the sunshine.
Well, you didn't hear this from me, but Eastern Company is actually looking to expand onto the West Coast. They're looking for some, how did you put it, beyond the edge designers to help them make a name for themselves.
That is interesting.
Well, I wouldn't mind moving into a PMO in a Fortune 500. Someplace that really has the resources to do things the right way. I could see myself running one someday. Crazy, right?
I'm not laughing. Were you aware that Eastern Company just cracked the Fortune 200 this year?
Huh.
Oh, I'm actually looking to retire in the next 5 to 7 years, so I don't have any big plans.
Eastern Co. invests its pension after 5 years.
Pension, huh?
Tell me, Alto, Darshana, Mario, how happy are you with your total package at IDC West?
Well...
What do you mean?
I mean, if you could have 3 magic wishes, what would you want? What would you want different?
You see, my mom's sick. and I need to take some time off to take her to the hospital and stuff, you know? I wouldn't mind having a better offering for sick days and paid time off. Don't get me wrong, I love it here, but the 401k only contributes 3%.
I hear that some companies give their employees stocks as an incentive to work harder. I'm working harder, I just need the incentive.
I heard Eastern Co. has a gym. Is that true? I carry the health insurance for our family. It's just my wife and me, no kids, but the family plan has me paying for all the services I don't need.
It would also be nice to get paid what you're worth. I've talked to some people in the industry and I'm not making enough.
I mean, if somebody offered me a little more money, I wouldn't say no necessarily. Money.
It's been great talking to all of you today. I think your aspirations are right in line with where Eastern Co. is heading. Like I said, I had a lot of fun. Would you be interested in continuing the conversation over lunch sometime next week?
I don't see why not. I could see myself doing that.
Are you buying?
You're a thief and you're fired.
You can't say that.
Why not? I just did. You're a thief and you're fired.
Okay.
Now get out of my office.
That's slander.
Not if it's true.
Okay, well, how are you going to prove it?
Polygraph.
That's illegal.
Okay, you're laid off.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Why not?
You need to give notice.
I have to?
Well, in this case, no, not have to.
Well then, that's what I'll do.
It just keeps you getting from sued. That's all.
Okay, no layoff. We're back to you're fired.
Well,
What? Is it an at-will state?
you can still be sued for wrongful termination.
But he's a thief.
But can you prove it?
Well, not conclusively, but I know it's true. How could it not be true?
It could not be.
It could not be. Which means...
Wrongful termination.
But...
I've been there, and it's also slander. I think it's time to reintroduce this type of discussion into the employee training program.
My head hurts.
I've been there, I know.
So, if we do it your way...
We watch and we document. For instance, performance reviews are coming up. That is an excellent time to begin the process of.
But he's a thief, Esther!
It appears so, yes, someone is.
You sound like a lawyer.
I'm just trying to keep us from getting sued.
So, we let him go free.
No, as I said, we watch and we document.
Can I at least say something?
Well, does he have any other performance issues?
Well, a list as long as my arm, but the stealing is the worst.
Does he come in late?
Well, yeah.
Is the quality of his work up to the expectations stated?
Well, what?
Does he work on time?
Sometimes.
Does he complete the work?
More often than not, no.
Does it meet the standards clearly laid out for him?
Are you kidding me?
I take that as a no.
Yeah.
Was he properly trained for the position?
I don't know. Yes?
Can you prove it?
Come on, Esther.
Then those things you can prove, and those things, if not improved upon after sufficient warning, are reasonable cause for dismissal.
I wish it were the old days.
Excuse me?
The old days, when you could fire a thief for stealing and not have to document it.
I understand.
Well, but he's a thief. He took our ideas and sold them to Eastern Co. I know in my heart that it's true.
I understand.
But now I have to sit here idly by,
Not idle.
practically idle.
Methodically.
Methodically by while this guy keeps stealing our best ideas and giving them to Eastern Co.
Can you prove it?
No.
Then we do it my way.
Well, your way stinks.
You... Really?
Yeah, really.
You prefer to go with your gut approach.
Sure, I do.
Okay, what if it were me?
What do you mean?
Well, we saw each other on the street, and I told you I just got fired for stealing.
I wouldn't believe it.
Well, my boss couldn't prove it, but I couldn't disprove it. So there I am, talking on this street corner, wondering how am I going to put my daughter Tasha through college next year because I'm fired because my boss had a feeling that I stole something because the law doesn't protect me, even though I'm innocent. How about that?
Well...
What about this color of my skin?
Whoa, what? What about it?
What if I got fired or not even hired because the color of my skin?
Well, I would never...
Or because I'm a woman. Hey, how about I get fired or not even hired or paid less or harassed more or just to get to work to someone with a Playboy calendar just because I'm a woman?
Well, who would? I mean...
Well, what if you had to work 80 hours a week
Well, I do work.
and made $3.50 an hour?
Well, who can live on 3...
Or had to work around asbestos?
That's just ridiculous.
Or your insurance company dropped you because you got hit by lightning. Or you got passed over for promotions because you were over 40. Or couldn't take time off to care for your sick child. Or your company didn't offer health insurance at all. Well, what if, Jake? What if?
Well, I guess I wouldn't be very happy.
You wouldn't be harassed, underpaid, overworked, uninsured, endangered, and in a lot of cases, just plain old fired.
So, your way again? How'd that work?
Watch them. We warn and we document.
I can do that.
I'm glad to hear it.
Maybe we should unionize?
The state is right to work. Good luck with that. Alright, well, my work here is done.
What? Don't leave!
It had to happen sometime, Jake.
So soon? We've only just begun.
Well, we're actually pretty well set up.
That can't possibly be true.
Oh, sure it is.
Well, prove it.
Well, we've just hired the new assistant for Jen, which seems to be reducing her workload significantly, thus freeing her up.
I mean, we were finally able to fire the old new assistant for Jen.
Using a documented, evidence-based approach to the matter.
Doing that, yes. It also helped me create a process to appraise all my team members, not just the ones who steal.
Oh, which leaves us less vulnerable to lawsuits. We also used a more objective, robust, and repeatable process for hiring the new assistant. The structured interview process with both internal and external candidates seemed to yield good results.
Fantastic results, actually. Jen's new assistant seems to be, well, fantastic.
We clarified and communicated everyone's job descriptions, thus allowing them to have more productive conversations about the division of labor in the production process.
Well, the new process is working out great. My whole team seems happier and more productive now that we've established who's doing what.
Yeah, we also created a retention program that allowed you to keep the valuable employees. No thanks to Cal the headhunter.
Right? Well, who knew how important retirement plans and healthcare were to Alto? Or that Mario wanted more time off to spend with his mom. And I had no idea that Darshana didn't feel motivated by her compensation package. And I'm so glad we installed that retention program that you designed. It allowed us to create, options that weren't attractive to all of our team members. And, the money issue.
Yes, there's always issues with money. Without the salary surveys, we did as a consequence of finding out about Cal's plans for our team.
And we would still be below the market on our pay scales.
Which would have left us vulnerable to more people being lured away.
And that would be bad.
Yes, that would be bad.
And speaking of bad...
No, what?
I really appreciate you enlightening me about how the world would be without you.
Me?
Well, the human resources function and the rules that support it.
It would be a cold, cruel world without them.
I didn't realize how vulnerable we are at work without the systems and processes that human resources has in place for us.
Well, even with all the paperwork that comes your way because of us?
Even with all the paperwork.
No, then my work here is done.
But...
I'll be around whenever you need me.
Paperwork in hand.
Of course.